Right, and we're back. It's New Mutator, joined once again by Giant Killer General and Myrk, and we actually have Osmodian here as well.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Osmo? This is Game 6 of the Grand Finals between TMNT and the Agents. What is the name of this map again?
Quixotism.
Quixotism.
I'm glad someone else said that.
And Flag Rally's the game type. I think TMNT is up 3-2 at this point, so this could be for the win, I believe.
Right, so Agents are in sudden death right now, because they were the bottom bracket finalists, so they have to win this. So a lot of pressure on them in this game.
And what can you tell me about a little bit about your strategy or kind of your approach to this particular map?
So this game, like I was saying before, how most strategy concepts fall into like 3 or 4 general categories. This would be the category of it's all about the flag tags. It's all about getting victory imminent. So it's not a straight up BC fight. You'll notice we went very melee heavy because we want to have a flag advantage.
And we only have 2 fetch, which you barely ever see less than max fetch.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very interesting point. In this, one of the very few maps and game types where you would not max fetch. You can see that Agents, I believe is 6 fetch max? That might not even be max. It might be higher. But in any case, they almost max fetch. And we only get 2. We actually get more mortars instead, no Solus. So that's the difference in the trades.
We get 1 Solus for that
sorry.
North flag.
I'm sorry,
Because,
I didn't see them trade. So they just got fetch. I was noticing the nut trade before.
We have a little bit of a starter location advantage because the northwest flag, it has a little uncontestable area next to it that a soul can just camp on. They needed artillery up there to actually take the flag tag.
Indeed, yeah, we have a little bit of start advantage there with that.
It doesn't matter too much though, I think. Like, we end up sending fetch on the flank anyway.
Is that right next to the flag?
That's right on the flag. Like, if you look at flag 5.
Yeah, I didn't know that was. I didn't know that was impassable.
Yeah, only souls can go there. It's just one of the funny little start location imbalances that we have to suffer through in this series.
So the general strategy here is a 2-prong. Myrk and I are going to do a south flank, and everybody else is going to go middle. Dak is guarding the castle and south flag. He's guarding 2 flags. Because again, we want to prevent the victory imminent. Whoever gets victory imminent first on a map game type like this is 90% chance they're going to win. Because it's very easy to just pin the opponent to their last flag at that point. And with this unit set, very rushy.
Yeah, so what's the deal with the mortars?
So mortars from a high ground are better, defensively speaking, than fetch. Also, because there's so many Myrks on this map, Morts hit harder against Myrks than fetch do. Myrks have a little bit of a lightning resistance.
Although no one told me that this game. Spoiler.
What's that?
That fetch don't hit hard against Myrks.
Flag.
Well, yeah, you should know that. I mean,
I know that. I'm just making a joke because I do.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
Flag captured. Flag captured.
So you're saying
they get the flag tag at Niddle first, and they're able to hold it for a while anyway.
That helps them out for a little bit, or else it's going to be over sooner, maybe.
Yeah.
And they have a lot there. They have all their fetch middle, all their trowel.
Again, it's so hard to defend the middle flag, you know, I mean...
We've got like Dick up north, and they're flanking 2 trowel, but they aren't sending any artillery, so they aren't actually going to be able to get a tag on that flag. I don't know if they even know that.
In the south, you'll see a little bit of action. So I'm guessing their south flag was supposed to be their like primary defense, which is odd. They actually should have picked the north flag, I think, anyway.
why is that?
Because it's behind their kind of primary middle hill, where they want to control that middle hill that's up there with Morts or whatever, and that north flag is right behind it. Certainly much more accessible to defend. then the south one is going to be far from any kind of defensible reinforcements, basically. So anyway, I end up sending I decided not. I actually thought about this ahead of time. If I got caught up on kind of a heavy melee force defending a flag like this, that Myrk has the perfect squad to kind of attack that. So I send my tro, I just bypass it entirely. Instead of taking a bunch of health damage on my tro, I just bypass it entirely, going straight for flags, because I want to go straight for the jugular, and pin them to their flags immediately.
Yeah, so getting victory
Flag
imminent first,
captured.
as you were saying, gives
absolutely.
you a huge advantage.
I just want to point out that I was really on edge this game because I'm kind of depending on GKG's melee there to kind of protect me because I have
Yeah.
like what 6 melee, and if they rush me
Yeah.
and like GKG is not watching his units, I'm fine.
So
I'm
yeah,
like,
I'm controlling units in 3 different places right now,
yeah,
and
it's
I
been-
have 34% of the units.
And speaking of what I was talking about before, I'm just getting fed some free Myrk kills. Sam is just running them right by me and dying.
Right,
And
yep.
I've now paid for myself.
They're in the water, so another thing to point out, they do take more damage when being hit in the water.
I
end
don't
up-
think they actually do. It's just that they get the reflect damage if they're like close. Because I'm just like clicking.
Asmo, can you confirm that one way or another?
I think it does slightly more. I don't think it's
Yeah.
a lot. But watch Myrk right there. I'm surprised they didn't rush him. That's the opportunity they had, like to take out his whole force maybe. But the trick with the
they-
I'm
Myrk.
really scared of it.
Honestly, they couldn't have. They might have been able to beat that force, but their tro would have been almost fucked.
Yeah,
if
the
they
thing
tried to
is
rush that.
they'd have to either take a lot of trow health or clump their melee around fetch, which is never a good idea.
Right, and ultimately, he would only lose 2 fetch, and we would bait their tro into all of that Mercurian Zerks, which is what you want to do, You want to get the tro
Absolutely.
damage off on that, so.
Who just lost their mortar mid?
That would be Asmo. Did you get that on film? Did you get that on film? Yes, good.
I did it for a
Yep.
reason, man.
Poor
It was just a
Asmo.
terrible reason. I really wanted to get that victory immediate, and so it is something stupid.
I watched it in the middle of the game, too, and I was just like, that's why I say mid don't die. Because I'm watching Asmo be a dumbass. Like,
Oh,
what the
gosh.
fuck is middle doing?
I wanted to play hero, man, and I scoped it up.
So right now, GKG is just like flanking north and getting chased, and yeah, he's not going to be able to take the flag yet. Much
No,
longer.
but I'm forcing them all to fall back, getting them into a turtled up position.
They're
so
all
that-
getting nervous about you, yeah. And defending mid looks like it'd be really stressful. Or at least it would be
Yeah,
if Everybody loses more. But,
Yeah, that is not
yeah.
a flag you want to defend at all. It's crazy.
No, it's like you've got high ground on our side that we can just fire down at you from. The thing is with that, like if you micro them very well, they beat like any artillery unit in the game, including morts. But like if you stagger the mort shots right, you can actually just rate fetch.
Right, and that's ultimately what I was telling my guys too when we were going into this match was, if you have to fight a mort battle
shot.
against fetch, stagger the shots.
Actually, just took one out there.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was that just one mortar that did that?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's arsonist.
Yeah.
Bad on
Yep.
Browner. Bad.
Yeah, yep.
At this point, I'm surprised their captain didn't tell them to push mid. I realize like it's really hard against their morts, but that would be like their only chance to push us at this point and grab flags.
Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you. And also, I want to point out how they still haven't dealt with that Northwest Solace. WWO just told PK, who has a fetch, to go up there now, but it's already like 6-7 minutes into the game or whatever.
Yeah,
They're almost
Paris is
practically
yelling, too.
pinned. Yeah, it took them forever to try and coordinate that. So yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
a,
don't-
that's it's a very small, like innocuous thing, but it turned out to be pretty huge.
yeah, it can be. I
Looks like
honestly
East
don't know what their
Wind
plan
is going
was.
to be really aggressive with his trow now in the middle. And I'm
Who
going
is?
to try to get East Wind with his 2 trow.
Yeah, he's been shadowing Sam, who I guess
Limp.
gave it
That's
to
Limp.
Limp.
Yeah,
Shadowed Sam.
No, I think Limp had those tro from the beginning. They had split tro. I don't think one guy had 5 tro the whole game.
I thought he only had 2, so it's...
Yeah, Eastman is being super aggressive. Like, he's actually hanging around their fetch and trying to get hits in their throw.
Yeah,
And he's being relatively successful.
Yeah,
it's
Limp,
looking
I
like it
think
might
it's
work.
just kind of bad fetching on their part, really. But they're occupied by the
Eastman,
Warriors too.
Eastman
They
has
really-
a very good melee exchange right here. Yeah.
And I'm about to just kind of
Flag
get fed some more kills on this one video.
Victory imminent.
I'm getting in
Flag
position, you can see in the
captured.
northeast as well, to take their flag. We just took the middle, we have victory imminent, and I just tagged the last flag. Game over.
GG!
So we had him pinned there really bad, and tagged both the last flag.
So this is it, flag 3.
Yep.
Yeah, and they've already lost it.
There's
too.
literally no way they can tag all the flags, especially with they can contest flag 5 all day, but you
Right.
can see
Yeah.
you can see Arsenic not even doing anything with that Solus.
And,
I think
just
if he
the,
control clicked, he could maybe even kill that video. I'm not
Yeah.
sure though.
yeah, it could have did some damage maybe. The percents though, look at the percents. I mean, we just... I'm not saying we like out BC'd them that badly, but that's just what happens when you leverage the flag advantage that much. It sets them up in the horrible positions. They're sitting there trying to defend the middle flag, which is terrible to try and defend. And that's what happens, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
And their fetch is finally going to arrive at the northwest flag after the game ends.
Oh man, yeah. So, what in your analysis, like, was there anything that agents could have done, you know, a little bit better than they did?
God, everything. I mean, they defended everything they defended was terrible. The south and middle flag is what they tried to defend. I mean, just, I don't know, too many fetch. They clearly didn't like know they didn't have like a good. So in the beginning, their plan was, I guess, to execute like Limp had a flank with 2 Tro, and he got in our backfield. But then he saw our heavy maul defense, and Eastman just chased him everywhere anyway. So there was nothing he could do anyway, and he didn't really have a melee force outside of having Tro. You can't just give a Troer just Tro. They have to have some melee with the Tro, because ultimately, in the most ideal melee engagement with Tro don't take the damage in a melee fight. You want them to be kicking. They're the highest melee DPS units in the game. They do the most damage, which means you want them to do more kicking and less dying, you know. And I don't know. They, again, poor squads on their part. I'll stop talking. Someone else can comment.
Yeah, I just think when they got down behind, they needed to try to do something. They should have been more aggressive. It seems like they were trying to react to our flag tags the whole game when they already saw they were down.
Well, we had them pinned. I mean, that's why I say I don't know what else they could have done outside of just having a better plan to begin with, because once they were pinned, there's not a whole lot they can do. They're pinned.
Well,
Yeah.
my thing I point out is that mid push. I think they would have lost it, but you got to try something at that point, especially when Sona does.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm thinking they did well to tag flag 3, the mid flag, but I think that should have been like a temporary tag. Like, I don't think they should have made it part of their core
That was pretty
defense.
much just a start location tag. Like, they start near it, I think.
Right, exactly.
So I'm thinking, you know, maybe keep that for as long as they can, but don't make it part of your core defense, you know. And
It's kind of like that kind of thing matters if you can, like, if you need to hold it enough so that you get the victory imminent or some kind of a nice flag lead, but you can't make it your main defense. Look at it; it's just so bad to defend.
yeah,
Let's say also Sam got out of position in the south in just letting my free Tro right into their backfield. He should have kept himself between me and their backfield and kind of chased me around like Eastman did to Limp in our backfield. That's what he needed to be able to do, and I just got right back in there. He was tempted to do kind of a rush on Myrk and I's units, but I mean, he could have done that and he might have been able to kill us, but his Tro would have been dead. He would have walked away with 1 red Tro maybe, you know. So you can actually see how Sam's Tro, all 3 of his Tro, and my melee do have an engagement at the very end of the game, and that's what happens. I mean, I had enough melee there he walks away with like 1 red tro ultimately.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like because they didn't prevent you from tagging their home, they were kind of forced to stay on flag 3, right? And that kind of
Right.
ruined their
Yeah.
strategy.
They just needed
Yeah.
to be more mobile and deal with our aggression better.
I think they, like Asmo was saying, I would almost say earlier on in the game, they should have tried to push that middle with all those fetch. I mean, ultimately our Morts would have sat on the high ground, but they had a chance. If they could have just blocked 1 or 2 Mort shots and just pushed us off that middle hill, they would have been right in our middle, and it would have been really tough. Now, ultimately, we still had Dak on the castle defense, and he's got a Mort up top on the castle wall, which fetch are fucked in that position, but they would have been at least been able to get everything else, get that northwest tag much quicker than they did, and get our southwest. You know, they would have had a chance at victory imminent with that middle push.
All right, so that's going to be the match. I think this is the deciding game for the entire match. What was it? 4 games to 2 in favor of TMNT.
We do end up playing the last game, though.
Yeah, so there is kind of a consolation game, Game 7, played to see, you know, what would have happened maybe. And does anybody have anything else they want to add at this point?
Let's not look at the stats.
That's
Well, I mean, you know, -5, but that could be from healing whites, right? So.
Oh man,
Oh, yeah, you
Had
know
to say it.
Asmo. What the fuck?
dang, dude, that's pretty bad. Less damage than losses. I don't even know what to say about that.
I'm happy. I did more damage than Eastwind. 5 more.
True.
You know, that happens when they just walk clunk melee around you when you're fetch.
Yeah, so Myrk, you had the only 2 fetch for your team, right?
I'm so happy.
You managed to do pretty well with that.
Yeah.
All right, well, if you guys don't mind, we can hop into Game 7 and do that, and finish up the finals.
Let's do it.
All right, so stick around and we'll see you in Game 7.
Game over.